I have been athletic and loved athletics my entire life. And, I played lots of team sports, did individual things, especially a lot of skateboarding. And, I've just been a fan of all kinds of sports, even things I would never do. And one of the things that you kind of go down the rabbit hole on YouTube is with the whole CrossFit thing. Now, I met lots of CrossFitters, and generally the people who do it drive me nuts. They're just a little too crazy, a little too, all about it, fanatical. But it's interesting when you watch the really good ones. They're pretty cool, interesting people. They're not so crazy or whatever. And of course, one of my favorites is Matt Fraser, who's won 5 times, been the CrossFit, they say the fittest man on earth. And, I enjoy watching him, and I enjoy watching a lot of the other athletes, and I pretty much watch anything on YouTube on it. You'll never see me in a CrossFit gym. I can't do a pull-up. I never could do a pull-up even when I was younger. Just don't have that ability. And, I do like lifting weights, but the problem with lifting weights is I get even bigger. I mean, when I was in high school, I did lifting between my senior year cross country and my senior year track with the baseball team. And it was just circuit training. And I put on like 10 or 15 pounds of muscle, and that wasn't good for my running. But I've been doing a lot of cross training since my fall. So the next time, or hopefully never to fall, I will be a little bit better. And it's definitely been working, as I've talked about, the kettlebell routines. And I have this little Smart Wood workout of the day app that I often do also. I enjoy that. So, I was watching the 2020 CrossFit championships. I'm not sure what they call it, and since of COVID, they only had a limited number, only like a half a dozen men, half a dozen women qualified through doing regionals, where they did it like actually in their home gyms on video. So Matt Fraser and Tia ended up winning. They ended up crossing the finish line together. This was his 5th win. And then it was a pretty cool moment. Well, the other day I was searching through YouTube looking for something to watch while I was playing poker, and I saw Matt Fraser retiring, and I was like, wow, he's probably in his early 30s, and I guess it's true, he's retiring. And that's a shame, though he is going out on top, and I really enjoy watching him compete. And he basically, said, he's got 5 titles, and he's tired, he doesn't want to do the sacrifice anymore. And so he talks about how he was a power lifter, and he gave that up, walked away from it, went to school. But after he got out of school, he had nothing much to do. Just went into a CrossFit gym like 7 or 8 years ago, and he really enjoyed it, was good at it. And he really got into CrossFit though, because he could win money. And he's like, I'll make some money, put a down payment on a house, and then get a real job. I think he's an engineer, and ended up being quite successful and doing well and winning. But he just devoted himself 5-6 years ago to doing everything he could to win, which I really admire and appreciate. And you hear that, all the best to that Kobe, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods. And so he threw his whole life into it, passed up opportunities, passed up things so he could become the best there ever was in the sport. And trying to get my phone here working. And so he's now just wants to take on opportunities that he wouldn't do in the past. He'd be like, I could go to a trip to New Zealand, but I'm going to miss training. And I get that. I remember when I used to train heavily, I'd be like, how's this going to impact, I'm just some lowly rec guy. And so congratulations to him on coming up with the idea. He's going to walk away. He's consulted his girlfriend, I don't think they're married yet, wife, who's taken care of him so religiously over the past 5 years, and his coaches, and they're like, yeah, it's time for you to go if you're ready to go. And hopefully he doesn't, do a Jordan and try and come back. Sounds like he isn't interested. He's got other kinds of opportunities and interest. He's still going to work out, stay in shape. But he's like, yeah, but I can just have fun when I work out. I get off the assault bike and I don't have to immediately start throwing sandbags around. And he said, if the money in the sport, he said, it's good money. He definitely doesn't need to. He says he's basically made enough that he'll live okay on it. But, he goes, it's not, Tom Brady, LeBron James, $25 million a year money. He goes, if it was that kind of money in CrossFit, he would do it for the next decade. And so very interesting to listen to him talk. I'll try and find it, put it in the show notes. I can't remember who he was being interviewed by, but he definitely knows these guys and is definitely fun and entertaining. That's kind of another thing I really like about the CrossFit world, is how even though they're trying to kill each other and the workouts are trying to kill them, they all seem to generally care about each other and enjoy each other's company. I'm sure, they're all super competitive, but at the end of the day, it's fun to watch them, and I wish more people who are just recreational people like that would mellow out a little bit. So very cool to see. Been inspired by him. He's retiring, walking away from the CrossFit, and it's kind of inspired me that I really need to just walk away, no pun intended, from running and just do the walking. In fact, this morning I just went out and did a warm-up and a 70-minute walk, and it was faster than my run walk yesterday. So I think I need to take a page from Matt Fraser and just walk away from one thing and go to a new thing and just, see what it's like and not mess with and get so caught up in the past and just look towards the future. So, as I've talked about all the time, I constantly am going back and forth. Should I run? Should I not run? And I really think listening to Matt Fraser is definitely helping me with that process and just become what I need to be now, a walker. And that will also help me stay healthy and be boring and not epic. I want to thank those who recently subscribed. I noticed my subscriptions have gone up a couple numbers. And please, if you like these videos, please hit subscribe. YouTube makes tons of money off these videos. They used to not, if you don't get 1,000 subscribers, you don't get any advertising money, but they used to also not put any ads on your videos. Well, now people under 1,000 still get the ads put on their videos. So, it's like, help me get monetized, because then we can give some of the YouTube money to me, and I'm going to be spending it in the endurance world. So just hit the subscribe button, and if you got questions or anything, you can get a hold of me on the social medias. I have a link tree in the show notes where you can find out how to get a hold of me on social media. So thank you guys all, and thank you for subscribing and listening to these videos.
What's your names?
Has asked that once again.